Good morning. So while I'm out, you're going to be working on your CO2 dragster challenge for the substitute. And what you'll find on here, now I briefly went through this in class yesterday, but we'll go through it again. I'm tasking you with designing a new vehicle that would break the land speed record. And while it might look like it's a drag race, which is really two cars running straight down a track right next to each other, it does have more in common with rocket propelled land speed record cars. So you might want to look at these for inspiration and kind of see what the designs look like, and also look into aerodynamic shapes. So this would be aerodynamic shapes. Um, will also help you. So what you're going to do is you're going to build to meet these constraints here. Okay, I gave you both the minimum and maximum size. So the body length is nothing more than distance from the front of the car to the back of the car. Body height is the bottom of the body to the height of the body, the top of it. However, that does not include where the CO2 cartridge goes. This is everything in front of that. Now, away from the axles, you're going to have to drill some holes to put the axles through the body, and that's what holds the wheels in place. Away from those axles, your body can be no less than a half an inch, no more than 1 5/8. At the axles, if you look down here, at the axles, 1 1/4 to 1 5/8. Now 1 5/8 is the same width as the whole block. So that just means you can't add anything to it. Body mass. So we're going to put this on a triple beam balance and we're going to weigh it before we get to start. And it just can't weigh less than 50 grams. If it does, I have some washers that we will tape to it to make sure we hit that 50-gram weight limit. Okay, now let's take a look at the axle holes again. Okay, and this is the distance from the bottom of the car to the center of the hole. No less than 1/4, no more than 7/16. That hole can be no less than 3/8 of an inch from the front or back of the car, and no more than 4 inches from the front or back of the car. Now the wheel base, this is how far apart the wheels are. So if we go and we look at the picture up here, the wheelbase would be the measurement from the center of the front wheel to the center of the back wheel. My measurement for that is no less than 4, no more than 11 1/4. Longer wheelbases generally help the car to go in a straight line better. Safety zone thickness. What this is an area around the CO2 cartridge where you will have to have at least 1/8 of an inch of wood. If you do not have that, your car cannot compete, period. This helps to prevent a CO2 cartridge from accidentally coming out the front of the car. We're going to hold this onto some heavy fishing line with some screw eyes, and you want them centered left right, but the distance from the front or back of the car is no less than 5/8, no more than 4 inches. And they can be no less than 4 inches apart and no more than 10 7/8. Now, how am I going to grade this? A lot of this rubric is very simple, yes or no. Your car meets all the constraints. That's good for 10 points. All the constraints I left you are up here. Now, if we count, there are actually 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Safety zone thickness. This one here is not negotiable. It's not an option. If you don't meet it, you don't run, period. So that I'm not including in the point. Okay, now we're going to look at your drawings. You're going to need to create an orthographic with the correct front view and the correct top, front, right side layout, and have all the hidden lines there. Okay. This will need to be dimensioned. Uh, Now, the dimensions I'm going to be concerned about are the ones that I gave you the constraints for. So if I tell you something like distance from the front of the car to the front axle, you need to include that dimension on your drawing. The design brief, this is the same one we've been using, and it's 10 points. And what I'm going to do is there are 6 parts to it. Client, designer, problem statement, design statement, constraints, deliverables. If you don't do all 6 of them, I take the amount you completed, let's say 5, you didn't list your deliverables, I divide it by 6, and you will get whatever that works out to be. I think it's 8.2. You need to have at least 3 idea sketches. That's 10 points. If you have more, that's great. If you don't have those 3, you don't get the 10 points. That's a yes or no. And you have to have a complete decision-making matrix with your criteria or your constraints listed and each of your ideas on it to figure out which design you're going to build. 10 points. This is you did it or you didn't. You get 10 points or you get none. Now let's look at the car build here. The car build, if you look at the rest of this portion here, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Everything is 10 points. There are 8 categories. This is 80 points. When we look at the car build, this is available, 20 points are possible here, and it's based on how accurate it is. The dimension on the car should match what you have on your orthographic sketch. I hold you to a 16th inch tolerance, so you can be a 16th bigger or smaller than what you said it would be without losing credit. However, for each 16th you're out of tolerance, you're going to lose a point. So let's say your wheels, you say your front wheel will be 3 inches away from the front of the car. You can be between 2 and 15/16 and 3 and a 16th and be fine. If you're 2 and 7/8, you're out of tolerance and you're going to lose a point. If you're 2 and 13/16, well, now you're 2/16 out of tolerance, so you're going to lose 2 points. A couple of things you're going to want to look at. You're going to want to look. I left a pile of books on my desk. They're small paperback books, simply called Race Car Book. They're from Pittsco, and leaf through them. They'll help you out. Don't worry about the graph paper in it. It will give you some pointers that will help you with some ideas. Please, I don't have enough for each person to keep one. Return them to the sub at the end. You will want to check, do kind of Google image searches, look up what aerodynamic shapes look like, look at land speed record cars, things along those lines. Okay. Once you've gotten your ideas, begin your brainstorming. Get your idea sketches done. Once you've got your design brief, do that first. Then do your 3 idea sketches. Once you've got them done, do your decision-making matrix. If you finish all of that, then you can get started on your orthographic. I don't think you'll have time to do that today, though.